all the HODs present over here, faculty coordinators Ms. Manisha Madhav and Ms. Arnika Tiwari ma'ams from GemTech School of Law, student coordinator Mr. Saurabh Guha, and moderator and anchor of the day, my dear Arunim Kathuria. I, Dr. N.K. Pahal, Professor of Law at GemTech School of Law, Greater Noida, District Gautam Budh Nagar, UP, on behalf of GemTech family and on my own behalf, heartily welcome CS Deepak Sharma sir to GemTech School of Law. Deepak Sharma sir is a partner in Messrs. Sharma Jain and Associates, which is a leading firm of company secretaries. Sir is a fellow member of Institute of Company Secretaries of India. Sir is a law graduate and Masters in Commerce. Deepak Sharma sir is a true academician and guiding force for all the members of his group and associates at the very prestigious and premium institution of company secretaries in India. Sir has over 16 years of experience providing advisory services to corporate sector. Sir is providing legal and financial services to Indian and multinational companies. Sir has been a speaker on many subjects relating to corporate laws, legal and secretarial audits. Deepak sir also deals in international joint ventures agreements and due diligence processes. Deepak sir has been associated with Meerut chapter of ICSI for the last 12 years as chairman, and sir is taking classes in corporate law and commercial law for CA and CS courses. Sir is also taking regular classes in the Institute of Company Secretaries of India for the finally passed out students in training programs known as Management Skill Orientation Program. Deepak Sharma sir, by his experience and expertise, has shaped the entire landscape of education in modern India in its true perspective. I want to say from the core of my heart that students are lucky ones to whom Deepak sir has taught. It's my privilege to welcome you, sir, and we are really delighted to welcome you at GemTech School of Law. Dear participants, Deepak Sharma sir is an expert in the field of law and is dedicated to provide access to justice to the masses. I think he is the best mentor for our students. Congratulations to you, sir, from GemTech family. And we once again welcome you, sir, to GemTech School of Law, Greater Noida, UP. And sir, we'll invite you to our campus once again once this pandemic of COVID-19 is completely over. And we thank you so much for accepting our invitation. Deepak sir, everyone knows your contribution for making access to justice easier for masses. We know that your burning desire towards values of our constitution has built an equitable and happy society. Sharing of your experiences during the journey of becoming so senior in the academic field will be enriching and exciting for all of us, along with innumerable students. Sir, it is needless to mention here that you are undoubtedly a custodian of law and you have made immense contribution in raising the standard of students of law, bar and bench in the country. Your several students are decorating high positions in our country. Sir, you are requested to share and reveal your valuable experiences as a senior academician and mentor of our countrymen for the benefit of our students, budding lawyers, along with our faculty members and rest of the society. Our students may have certain problems relating to completion of their degree courses, problems faced by them with reference to their prospective jobs, internship, placement, health, and psychology, etc. Sir, I am sure that your honor will solve the problems of our student mentees today. And our students and faculty members are very eager and keen to listen you, sir. So I once again welcome you, sir. We are pleased to have you amongst us. Over to moderator Arunim Kathuria, please.
Thank you so much, Bill, sir, for your kind words. Now I would like to invite our HOD ma'am, Professor Dr. Pallavi Gupta ma'am, for embracing us with her words of wisdom. Ma'am, over to you.
Hello, Arnim. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
I believe ma'am is in some meeting, so we can proceed, Arnim, because
Okay,
we
sir.
are
Okay,
running
sir.
with short of time. So once
No
ma'am
issues.
joined, then later on we can request ma'am.
Okay, okay, sir. No issues.
Yeah, yeah. Please continue.
Okay. So now let's talk about CS Deepak Sharma. Mr. Deepak Sharma, sir, has a total 16 years of experience providing advisory services to corporate and multi-corporate and providing legal and financial opinions. He has
Can I
worked.
interrupt, Arunab? Can I
Yes,
interrupt?
sir.
I think the
Yes, sir. Yes.
introduction part has already been done.
Okay,
We should
sir.
not waste time, right?
Okay, sir. So now, sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, all the management team of Gemtech Law School, all the coordinators who have perceived this idea to mentor a student, actually, even a single student, if that is mentored, I think the objective of the institution is fulfilled. So before joining, before starting, I would definitely request you all, whosoever is just attending, please attend these programs with all zeal and zest. Why? Because this is definitely going to pave the way of success in future for you as far as the field of corporate law is concerned in respective areas. Actually, whosoever is there who is mentoring you, or maybe internally or externally, I think this is your duty and my duty as well to give you the best. Actually, so today we will definitely pointing some points which will definitely demonstrate for your future perspective and which will definitely give you an insight for the coverage under the provisions of the Companies Act and corporate laws. What are the options, how they can be just captured? So before that, I may ask you in between some of the questions, maybe course related, maybe academics related, maybe your person related, and you may just put your question in the chat box so that the coordinator may take it for the purpose of your reply. I really apologize for the connection which has delayed by almost 20 minutes due to some technical clutches, but definitely I'll make it just to the point that yes, we may just finish it up within a time. Now, what is mentorship and how this mentorship program are meant for, why they are just made, why they are thought of by your institution. And Gemtech Law School is very pioneer one, I should appreciate, because I've been associated with this institution since long, and this would be my second mentorship external development program as far as Gemtech Law School is concerned. So your training, your motivation, your advice, your success, your direction, from which corner you are just having the direction, your coaching support, and your overall social goal, they all are meant for the purpose of improvement all the time. And this is what the mentorship program would be doing for you a lot as far as mentoring a individual student is concerned. Though faculties are doing very hard in terms of raising the bar of success as far as each and every student is concerned, but this is a duty of the external faculty, and as a part of the law wisdom, this is my duty to just give you insight to some of the very dynamic happenings which are there in the field of corporate law. I've been practicing as a company secretary since last more than 20 years, and this has been my intention that I should definitely give something to the student which I have taken from my seniors and my mentors, actually. So this mentorship, which is a relationship between two people, where one individual with more experience or knowledge or maybe connections is able to pass along with what they have and they have learned so far in their professional journey. They may pass it on to a more junior individual within a certain field. So today's field is corporate law, which definitely will give you a very good insight, and you get more senior level of individuals as a mentor and more junior level as a mentee is right. as a rate of success, my dear friends, increases. Now, a mentor, according to me, what should or she do actually after just, interacting with you all? So I may be a teacher, I may be an educator, I may be a diagnostician, I may be expert, I may be a critic, energizer, I may be a sponsor for any sort of a help or training, whatever. I may be a counselor for you, I may be a guide for you, I may be a task manager, task master, I may be a devil's advocate as far as you are concerned and your mood codes are concerned. I may be a protector process consultant. I may be a planner for you. I may provide you some facilitator platforms or grounds. I may be coach for you. As a mentor, I'm just talking about, my dear friends, please mind it. Or maybe some other person may be a role model for you, because everyone has a right to just select his or her role model. I may be a problem solver. I may be a friend I may be a friend with you actually. I may be a catalyst. I may be an advisor, and I may be a target setter for you. So this all picture actually, these all, points which are having the qualification or a quality a mentor should have to start first with his or her team. So this is what you have to be very hard in terms of understanding these terminologies so that you may be just able to grab the maximum from the mentor. Have you heard about Gavaskar and Tendulkar? Have you heard about Achrekar? Have you heard about Gandhi and Nehru? Yes, of course. One may say that I have definitely heard about these combination of relations. So who was mentoring to whom? I think this is a just historic perspective. Everybody must have his or her limited knowledge as far as the relationship or the inbound relationship is concerned. But as a mentor, what a coach does, a coach has done to the upliftment of the professional heights of Sachin Tendulkar, or maybe Nehru has got some wisdom from Mahatma Gandhi. So as a mentor or as a mentee, this will definitely become the part of our research, and we may just come out with some of the crux which provides that yes, mentor and mentee is a very pious relationship. It's a very useful relationship between two. Why? Because the other party, who is junior one, as a student, he or she is getting something which may be lapsing in terms of their understanding within the social paradigm or at the institution level. So this is what you have to understand, my dear friends, that what the mentor can do for you. So what are the mentorship skills you should have or one should have? You have to understand that. So what is the skills which is required by your mentor? Like, for example, if you're talking about me, if today I'm just, interacting with you, I should have some sort of a skill. Skills which are practical oriented, skills which are very practical in terms of your future perspective, maybe skills which may be useful for you as far as your career is concerned, and skills required by mentee. So what are those skills which a mentee like a student should have? So this is called a mentorship skills, and this mentorship skills provide a platform where you all or I may just interact and come out at a platform where I think you as a mentee is understanding how I struggled as a mentor. I learned from my experiences as a mentor, and now it is the time to pass on these things to the next level, maybe to you. And this is what you have to understand from all the faculties, whosoever is coming under this beautiful program, which has been designed by the GemTech Law Schools. And I would definitely again appreciate your faculty members who thought of this, beautiful concept and is providing a platform. Now, what are the qualities of a good mentor? What should he have? Actually, according to me, a good mentor must have a relevant expertise of knowledge. Like, for example, I claim that yes, I will justify as far as your corporate and commercial law perspective is concerned. I may be enthusiastic for sharing that experience with you all as a senior and as a junior, as a mentor, as a mentee. I should have a respectful attitude towards my juniors, towards my mentees. Why? Because they are at the learning stage. I should definitely be, kind enough to engage and to invest time of others in a way that they are getting what they desire. I should have the ability to give honest and direct feedback, whatever you raise. And I should reflect the listening and empathy sort of qualities on you. Now, I should have a willingness to be a sponsor whenever your institution requires my services. And as a mentor, I should just, come forward to give you that platform which you require to equip yourself as a legal advisor of future, as an advocate, as a maybe a part of the judiciary system, whatever or what not actually. So this is what I think as a mentor, these are my duties and I should have it. Now, as far as you are concerned, what qualities you should have? Why? Because this is important to understand the perspective of yours also. So your faculties member by and then provide you that wisdom to you. So I should be efficient. I should be systematic as a mentee, as a student. If I'm getting some sort of a lecture from my mentor, I must be considerable for others for the purpose of scheduling my meetings, and I should give or I should value what I'm just getting from my mentor. I should be a trustworthy person. Why? Because whatever I'm committing, whatever I'm just getting from my mentor, I should be just able to grab it and just to get it executed in my all future endeavors. I must be to some extent resourceful person, resourceful in terms of knowledge. Why? Because I'm in the process of getting that knowledge by and then and again, and maybe all the time, whenever I'm interacting with my faculties, when I'm interacting with my seniors, whenever I'm interacting with my mentors, I should be proactive all the time as a mentee. And I should bring up some relevant matters to discuss with my mentor. So this is what you should have it, my dear friends. Now, I should be realistic on all learning paths, on all learning platforms actually. I should be able to understand that I'm the person who learned from mistakes. So this is what I am able to just get you through. So I should be all the time curious. Oh, I have to, raise a question because this is relevant for you. And this curiosity should definitely bring some engagement, right, of others as well. Because whenever you raise a question, it may be relevant for you, but you never know that these all are really, important for the guys at your level, your peer group members, or maybe some other students who are watching this. Now, any other specific quality I should have or one must have? Yes. Majority of the time, a relationship between you and your senior, your client, your colleagues, that will involve talking and listening. Right now, I'm talking to you. You are listening, but it's not, diagnosed, or it is not, under execution that you are listening well and you are maybe accepting the words of wisdom from your faculty or from your mentors, what they desire to just provide you. It means what? Whenever a talking or listening process starts, the important part is listening. Because until and unless you listen carefully, you can't be a good legal experts actually, or law experts. You have to develop a habit where this talking and listening should have a optimum level of combination or a ratio actually. According to me, or according to a survey conducted on the students and the law fraternity, it was relieved that 40% time I should invest on my talking or maybe conversation, and 60% of my time should be devoted to my listening powers and developing those listening powers, so that I may become a knowledgeable person, my dear friends. So this is what you as a student should learn all the time from your seniors, from your, maybe institution, or from your mentors. Now, listening, which is a active process. Active process means you just may be awake, you are resting, you are taking classes, you are maybe taking some fun actually, but your ears and your other things which are just accepting the messages from the outside world, they should be open actually, and they are under the active process of listening. Now, it is much more than just listening or hearing. It means hearing is something, listening is something, and then execution to just grab all the things, whatever is being heard or listened. Actually, you have to devote your time or more time in listening. So what the other person is saying, it's just hearing. But listening means you are applying your mind, and then you are just making some, creating some verticals, you are understanding some perspective, and you are taking those words of wisdom which definitely suits to you. So this is something which a mentee develop as a student of law. Now, Julian Treasure is a philosopher, and in his TED talk some time back, he uses a helpful acronym. This is RASA, RASA, RASA. What does it mean? It means for a law student, what does it mean? So RASA is R for receive, A for appreciate, S for summarize, and A for ask. It means RASA becomes RASA, which means receive, appreciate, summarize, and ask. So this is what you have to just understand to facilitate an active listening process. So to be the part of active listening process as a mentee, I think you have to be fair enough in terms of your mindset to accept those waves, those listenings, those hearings, actually, those information, those conversation, so that you may just add on in your knowledge. This is what I have learned from my experience, and what the Julian Treasure in his TED Talks shows has demonstrated. Now, active listening takes practice. Definitely, it takes time, it takes commitment, and is critical enough. Why? Because it's critical. It's a critical skill, and it is a critical skill to develop, not just for a successful mentoring relationship, but in all aspects of your life. So this is what I think as a basic role you should understand. Now, come to the corporate law version. I'm taking corporate laws. Why? Because as a student of law, at any point of time in your lifetime, whenever you finish this course of law, maybe 5 years integrated course or 3 years, whatever you are doing, at whatever level you are, until and unless you have been devoting your time to the corporate laws, I think your knowledge will be without a 100% score. It means what? The corporate law is such a law, a combination of commercial laws, including the corporate laws, such a law, which give you some sort of insight where you have greater chances to win the places of working globally. Actually, I'm not talking about India, but globally, right? So this is what you have to understand, what corporate law can just give you as a student of law. So working as a corporate lawyer, for example, or legal advisor sometimes, or in corporate laws, actually legal advisor in corporate or commercial laws, it can be rewarding and lucrative career path. So this career path is something which I think any of you or all of you may appreciate and may adopt in your future endeavors of your law career or legal career. Now, you have to study for many years. You have been studying so far. So please be prepared for the hard work and the sacrifices. Hard work and sacrifices is I must say, the synonym actually, and it goes side by side actually. And you should definitely have a skill of hard working, and you have a attitude to sacrifice as well for your better understanding of law, and to be equipped with great achievements, level of achievements in your legal career, legal path. You will definitely need to get qualified. You have to gain experience and then continue your professional development all over your life actually, and study for your specialization or specialism in corporate law. So this is what, after law, whenever you do your maybe employment, you are into legal firm, you are practicing, you are in a judiciary position, wherever you are, you have to continuously, without any break actually, you have to take these things forward. Now, you have to be very proficient in terms of corporate laws. And what you have to study? So any of you who is well aware about any law, I'm not talking about corporate law, but any of you, if you can just share your thought that what you require to be equipped and to be well versed with a particular law, for example, corporate law, maybe IPC, maybe Evidence Act, maybe Limitation Act, maybe Transfer Property Act, for example, maybe a Partnership Act, for example, right? Maybe any other law which you like actually. So what exactly motivates you to be proficient in that law? Anybody can come forward and share his thought in the chat box. So before understanding, as a law student, I should be able to grab, I should definitely look at what should I get it, from where I should get it. So as far as corporate law is concerned, we have to be very proactive in terms of understanding the Companies Act. What is that? The Companies Act 2013, which govern the Companies Act and the companies which have been incorporated under this particular Companies Act 2013, or any previous law, like for example, Companies Act 1956 or Companies Act 1913. When you talk about the corporate laws, this is the East India Company, which entered the country, which entered in our country to do certain business actually. And later on, gradually, they just occupied a position in India where they were able to grab the power, the topmost power, to control our country's resources and all other things which a country doesn't want to lose. So India was unfortunate enough, or maybe you may say at that point of time, unfortunate. So after 1947, when we got our first piece of legislation in the shape of a Companies Act, it was Companies Act 1956. It is just after 9 years after the independence, we got our first Companies Act 1956. Before that, Companies Act 1913, which was dominating the corporate era during the British time, it was dominating and it was controlling all the corporate operating in India. So as a student of law, you should be able to understand the Companies Act 2013. You should be able to understand the rules, circulars, and notifications thereof. You should be able to understand the IBC law, that is Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. You should be able to understand the labor laws. Labor laws means what? The Gratuity Act, maybe the Bonus Act, the Minimum Wages Act, the Provident Fund Act, the Employees State Insurance ESI Act. These are some of the examples of labor laws. So you should be able to understand those laws as well. Environmental laws. So you should be able to understand the environmental laws like, pollution, air, water, all other laws which are just justifying. And whatever the institutions or regulators who are looking after the compliances, the procedures, and all of the regulating aspect of these laws, you should be able to understand the structure of those departments. For example, if you talk about environmental laws, NGT, the National Green Tribunal, becomes very important platform where as a legal fraternity, you should or you will be, right, and at any point of time will be there to represent your client or yourself or maybe some other institution. The IPR, the intellectual property rights, the trademarks, the copyrights, the industrial designs, the patents, the geographic. So these are what you have to understand as a corporate lawyer, or maybe as a corporate advisor, or maybe as a litigating advocate, or maybe as a part of judiciary, that you should be able to understand those intellectual property rights related laws actually, and they will be applicable wherever for the purpose of your client. Now, some of the industry specific laws are there. For example, when you will be joining some construction company or you'll be advising some construction company, so RERA will become very important for you. So this is the basic points which a mentee, as a student of law, you should understand whenever you're going to understand those perspective, the different perspective, the expert perspective, as well as corporate law is concerned, my dear friends. Now, what to learn about, you have to understand those perspective, and you should definitely raise that question. So what are the questions actually? What I should learn in a company's perspective? So you should learn the incorporation process in a company, how the company is incorporated, what are the corporate cultures in terms of incorporation of a company? What type of companies are there? Like, for example, private company, public company, maybe some other companies which are in the nature of listed, unlisted companies, the producer companies, charitable companies, maybe some other companies which are in the nature of non-banking financial companies, right? So these are types of companies. You should be able to understand from your client perspective what type of companies he or she is going to have as a group also. Now, what are the compliances? So post incorporation, what are the compliances which a person must have actually? So those compliances are important. Whenever you have some sort of a client or maybe a mode of advising those clients actually at a platform, like for example, law firm. So that law firm may desire you or may require from you that you should be able to understand those law and then apply the law, and you should be able to understand the compliances, maybe whatever compliances are there post incorporation of a company. Now, what are the corporate actions? For example, whenever there is something happening within the company, management change is there, the capital infusion is there, some strategic decisions are to be taken in a company. So how those corporate actions are to be reported to some regulator, how the hierarchy of a regulator is working. So this is what, as a student of law, you should understand. Merger and restructuring. Oh, dynamic field, my dear friends, for you all. Even your whole life may be devoted to merger and restructuring and the acquisitions only. So this is what a very peculiar area under the domain of the corporate law. So this merger and restructuring processes will definitely give you an insight to understand those peculiarities, those technicalities, where a corporate or a different corporates come together at a single platform and they are merged, so that the shareholder of one company becomes a shareholder of the other company, and without any liquidation process, the other is dissolved. So this is what you have to understand. Now, the last but not the least, whenever commercial law is concerned, you can't avoid the litigation part. So whenever there is a dispute, the management dispute is there, you have to understand how to face it, how to represent it before any of the regulator in terms of saving the interest of a corporate or interest of your client actually. So these litigations make your journey so good in terms of your career that it gives you ample work actually. So from the incorporation purposes, maybe the compliance purposes, the corporate action compliance purposes, the management dispute purposes, maybe understanding of your merger and restructuring purposes. These are some of the points, and the litigation purposes, I think you should be able to understand that these are the perspective I should be able to understand. Now, sometimes I recall a very wise man has quoted somewhere that don't be afraid to start over again. This time, you are not starting from scratch. You are starting from an experience. It means at some point of time, you're not at the same page where your peer group is, but you want to venture into. You want to just grab that opportunity which your senior or maybe your other peer group friend has just successfully executed. So this is not a late action, but it is a starting from a scratch. It's not a starting of a scratch, but you are starting from an experience. Why? Because you have gained a lot of experience in terms of your understanding of corporate laws. So this is what the incorporation, process is there. Now, whenever I go for the litigation or the Insolvency Bankruptcy Code 2016, so Government of India was kind enough to introduce this piece of legislation as far as this new government is concerned, because as a student of law, you can't avoid those perspectives, my dear friends, which are very important in terms of understanding the legality, in terms of your constitution of the country, and it's very important to understand the commercial ventures. It means the collaborations, the joint ventures, different corporates which are working under the domain of the country, and then what are the challenges they are having. So you have to look at the strategy and the policy of the government of every time. I'm not talking about the current government only, but whenever you have to study from the perspective of the government as well. You have to be good enough in understanding the policy of the government, both central government and the state government. Why? Because you'll be getting a lot of inputs, a lot of understanding how the government is thinking about the commercialization and corporatization in the country. For example, the current government is targeting ease doing of business. They are eyeing on ease doing of business in India. And whenever you talk about ease doing of business of India, being a part of a core group of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, I personally feel that I work closely with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs on many fronts. But yes, at the same time, as a law student, I can't give you some less marks actually in terms of your engagement or future engagement in this paradigm or the platform. Why? Because from the day one, I think you should be good enough in understanding the policies of the government. So when I talk about ease doing of business of India, it means some of the regulators will be giving some sort of a liberty or leverage to the new startup. For example, when you talk about the startups, so what are the modus operandi to incorporate those startups? You as a legal guy or a law student or a person of eminence, I think will provide your client an insight to give his vision a clear or clarity, whereas he may have his own thinking and thought process. So this incorporation process where you learn a lot of skills actually in incorporation, selecting the right platform, then whatever the compliances for different corporate actions, you have to take it. Like for example, I was quoting IBC, the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. So ease of doing business of India, has given birth to 2-3 things. One is GST, for example. Whosoever is maybe passionate about taxes, the direct taxes or the indirect taxes, they may definitely refer these laws, and they can't avoid direct and indirect taxes without understanding the Income Tax Act 1961 or the GST. But over and above, whenever we talk about the tax regime of any country, they are driven by the policies of a country and the future vision plan. So whenever I'm eyeing on some investment from the offshore market, I'm looking at some direct investment in my country for the upliftment of my industry, my manufacturing process, my service industry. I think I can't avoid those direct and indirect laws out of the maybe syllabus I'm talking about. Out of the syllabus means that may not be the syllabus of your career, but that will become the syllabus of your future career path. So this is what you have to understand. Now, different management disputes, whatever way they are, like for example, the one group of shareholders is fighting with another group of shareholders. The directors are not fulfilling their duties as prescribed in the companies at 2013. There have been some maybe fraudulent actions as far as the company is concerned. Maybe some of the strategic partnership has to be built up between the country businessmen or the offshore businessmen. So these are the matters which a law person should understand and imply in a very right spirit actually. Now, the merger and restructuring processes, which I always advocate for the purpose of my law student, that you should definitely go to understand the IPR, that is intellectual property rights, and merger and restructuring processes. So being a part of that merger and amalgamation restructuring processes of the existing corporate style will give you ample work. Work is important, my dear friends, for you, right? And to understand, to just grab those opportunities that you should be able to work for those corporates, I think to understand first the law which is applicable on those corporates, it's really, really important for you guys. Now, when you start your study in 5 years of law, as a mentee, as a mentor, definitely I would give you some of the mantras which will give you maybe an insight to some of the avenues which are opened up as far as corporate law is concerned. When we started our corporate culture, when we started our corporate journey, so you should not forget 1848, where the Companies Act was evolving within the British paradigm, and they just take it to other part of the country. and we got our own corporatization. Right now, around 14 lakhs companies are there in India, and these 14 lakhs companies give birth to the entire economy of our country. So this includes the, maybe the matured market or the unmatured market, the organized market or the unorganized market. So this is you actually, which has a individual potential to work for the corporate. So when I take a very small part of this corporate, like for example litigation. So in litigation in the corporate law is to be taken care of before many regulators, be it National Company Law Tribunal, National Company Law Appellate Tribunal, high courts, Supreme Courts, different district courts, session courts, maybe some of the other regulators, like for example, NGT, the National Green Tribunal, for example, the RBI like institutions, they are different ministries and different segments and different hierarchies of Ministry of Corporate Affairs, be it official liquidator, the regional directors or a registrar of companies. So these are the platforms, these are the regulators where you will go and represent your client. So this is what you have to understand whenever you are studying law. Whenever you're talking about, for example, Partnership Act. So Partnership Act, what happens? There is a partnership and there is a combination of partners and there is a business. This is what the Partnership Act is there. But there must be a partnership deed. And this is a deed, this is the document where all of us have to refer for any particular term and condition to be taken care of by that partnership firm. Whenever there is a deviation, whenever there is a less understanding among the partners, there is a commercial dispute among the partners or the partnership, they have to approach an appropriate court. Whenever company is there, they have to approach the National Company Law Tribunal for the suitable action or maybe order from this regulator. So this is what you have to understand as a corporate. So courts are there, no doubt, but apart from courts, as a law student, you have a greater role to play, a broad role to play in terms of these institutions or regulators actually. Now, apart from litigation, when you go for the compliances, which I have already narrated, these compliances give you an extra verge of work where you and your team can devote so much of time in maybe policizing or maybe strategizing, maybe just creating some of the good platforms to save resource, energy, and money of your clients. So this is what as a student of law you should learn. Now, whenever I talk about working, like for example, I myself started my career in corporate laws, and I have been just smelling, eating, drinking the corporate laws only. So this is what the commitment is actually. So I have been just researching on corporate laws. I'm not touching upon the other direct or indirect taxes law, but I can't avoid in understanding those laws as actually also. So some of the basics, I have to understand those direct taxes and indirect taxes as well. So this is what a whole 360-degree understanding of those corporate or commercial laws will give you a next level of knowledge, next level of professional height, next level of hierarchy within your system. Now, what are the platform where you will be able to grab those opportunities? The big four are there. Like for example, Pricewaterhouse is there, Ernst and Youngs are there, Deloitte's are there, maybe Grant Thorntons are there. These are the big fours which gives lakhs and lakhs of jobs to the legal fraternity, example, and some of the senior advocates, some of the legal firms, some of the law firms, mediocre, small or big, they are, but they are providing those opportunities to their students, their maybe employees. So when you join a legal firm, for example, which is doing justice with the corporate laws, oh, most welcome, come and join. A legal firm may be efficient or proficient enough in terms of labor laws. Oh, please select and join. Some of the legal firms or law firm are really good enough in terms of taking care of social laws actually. Go and join. And some of the government platform, be it maybe CBI, SFIO, IB, or maybe some ED enforcement directorate are there. they are also from time to time advertising about different positions as far as corporate law is concerned, as far as these laws are concerned. Like for example, SFIO is a new platform, new institution defined by the companies in 2013, where they have been just taking care of all fraud related litigations, and maybe they are imposing so much of penalties on non-compliant corporates. At the same time, they are also adjudicating some of the penalties and imprisonment provisions are there. So this is what you have to understand as a student of law, that whenever you have ample time to understand, so just study. Now, when I talk about study, my dear friends, apart from your this academic career, apart from your professional commitment, apart from your understanding of different versions of your career path, please devote some half an hour or 1 hour time daily on daily and fixed time basis, where you can just have some knowledge, not from the digital media, from the books. So just make it happen that you are able to grab and understand those verticals of different laws. So this is what as a corporate law I have to understand. When I started my career as in a corporate law, initially I was working with my seniors. Then I joined some corporate, and later on I decided to venture into my own. So now we have a team. We have been taking care of all the corporate law matters, and from a very small office we were able to just grab that work, the attention of that level of corporates, where we were able to serve those multinationals, including Walmart, including Volvo line, including Densos, including JCB, Scott's. So these corporates just took advantage of our team's knowledge. So when I have to give you a mentorship, I say mentorship from a team, mentorship to our individual. What does it mean? It means as an individual, I may have my limited knowledge. As an individual, I may have my limited resource, but as a team, which I have, or which we may have, that plays a vital role, a big role. And as a team, as an individual, whenever you join some good platform, as a whole, they just devote, invest their resource on you to develop your expertise on a different level. So this is what as a student of law you have to understand, my dear friends. So whatever you're studying, whatever you're reading, commitment is there. And what I just talk about, please don't forget rasa again. What is it, rasa? For the repeated purpose, talking and listening is something, here is in something, but what Julian Treasure has said, actually you have to understand, the rasa is receive, appreciate, summarize, and ask. So receive, appreciate, summarize, and ask. So this also applicable to this conversation between you and me. Whatever you have just heard, a limited a version of your today's lecture, whatever you have received, please, if you have received, appreciate it. And if you have received and appreciated, try to just summarize. Is it okay with you? Oh, was it okay? Was it fair enough as per your expectation? And then ask a question. So this is the time I invite questions, and I request coordinator, if any question is there, I'm ready to take it. Over to you, coordinator. Any question?
I guess, sir, no questions are from the people. So, if you allow so, sir, can we conclude the session over here?
Yes, we can. And I am always available.
Okay, sir.
whatever questions are there, later on also, if they want to put some questions, they may email me by way of a message from the HODs, and I'll be more than happy to reply.
Okay, so thank you so much, sir. Sir, just could you please wait for a minute? I'll ask my faculty members to deliver a vote of thanks, sir. Could you please wait for a minute?
Please.
Manisha, ma'am, are you here with us?
Yes, yes. Thank you, Arun.
Ma'am, so thank you.
So first of all, I would like to thank respected Professor Dr. Pallavi Gupta ma'am for giving me the opportunity to deliver vote of thanks. Also, I would like to thank our guest speaker of the day, Deepak Sharma sir. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out your precious time from your busy schedule and enlightening our students with your knowledge and wisdom. So once again, thank you so much, sir. And I would also like to thank other faculty members of Gemtech School of Law, Professor Dr. N.K. Behel sir, Professor Dr. A.K. Tyagi sir, Dr. Amita ma'am, Ms. Arnika Tiwari ma'am, and all other faculty members, plus the students of Gemtech School of Law for attending this session. And once again, I would like to thank everyone. So thank you, sir, and hope to see you again, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank
Wish you all the best. God bless. And anytime I'm just, ready to take any question in future also. So just connect me to the student if they have any query with regard to corporate laws and commission.
Sure, sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Thank you so much.
So, ma'am, with your prior permission, may we end this session?
Yes, yes, yes. You may end
Okay,
session.
thank you so much. So, participants, you all are requested to kindly leave this. Thank you so much.